morning to all of you. This is a literature class for class 10 AB, and we will continue with the drama The Merchant of Venice. It is scene number 1 of act number 4, and we shall begin with line number 121. Okay, the venue is the Court of Justice in Venice. It remains same for a long time. In fact, most of the incidents or actions in act number 4, scene number 1 takes place in Venice. And the characters, a lot of characters you find here: Duke, Nerissa, Bassanio, Antonio, Shylock and Graziano. Duke, you know, Nerissa is the best friend of Portia, but Nerissa enters into the court as a clerk. She comes as a clerk in the disguise of a man. Bassanio has come to save the life of his dearest friend Antonio. He is the accused. Shylock is the person who is demanding the pound of flesh, and Graziano is their friend of Antonio and Bassanio. So these all characters are present there with a common intention, and the intention is to save the life of their best friend, the dearest friend, and the noblest man called Antonio. So this is the characters present, venue, and we shall begin with line number 121. 121. Rather, we had already completed line number. Okay, we shall begin with line number 121. In the previous class, we had completed up to 120. So there, enter Nerissa dressed like a lawyer's clerk. This much we had completed in the previous class. So Nerissa enters into the court, and the purpose of the entry of Nerissa is to record whatever decisions are taken in the court. And when she enters, though we know that Nerissa is entering, but she enters in the disguise of a clerk who is a man. The Duke says, came you from Padua, from Bellario? Means, have you come from Padua, from Dr. Bellario? Dr. Bellario is a very famous lawyer, and when the Duke was unable to take a correct decision, then he had requested Dr. Bellario to come and help him take a correct decision in the case of Antonio versus Shylock. Okay, so we know that Dr. Bellario has not come because he makes an excuse. Actually, it is also the plan of Portia. Because of the plan of Portia, nobody knows about this. Okay, according to the plan of Portia, Dr. Bellario is not supposed to come, and in his place, Dr. Bellario suggests the name of Portia, and so Portia comes later. So it is all because of the plan of Portia. So the Duke asks a question: have you come from Padua, from Bellario? Padua is a place where Dr. Bellario belonged to. Nerissa says, from both. From both means, yes, my lord, I have come from Bellario and from Padua both. My lord Bellario greets your grace, means he has sent greetings for you, and then she gives a letter to the Duke. You can see he or she, because she looks like the person looks like a girl, but actually is looks like a boy, but actually is a girl. So you can say he or she, or Nerissa, or the clerk. Then she gives a letter to the Duke. Bassanio says, why dost thou whet thy knife so honestly? At that moment, now Shylock is very, very confident that that particular day the justice is coming in his favor. So he had already come prepared. He had come with a knife and he started whetting it, sharpening. Why dost thou whet thy knife so honestly? Whet means sharp. Why are you sharpening your knife so honestly, means so eagerly? And Shylock says, to cut the forfeiture from the bankrupt day. So Shylock responds that I am sharpening my knife in order to cut 1 pound of flesh from that forfeiture day, from that bankrupt day. Bankrupt is a person who has lost everything. And who is that bankrupt at this moment is? This has been referred to Antonio, because Antonio is supposed to have lost everything. Graziano says, not on thy soul, but on thy soul heart's due, thou makest thy knife keen. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, be or half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee? Then Graziano says, Not if you are. What was the response? Shylock says, I am sharpening my knife to cut or to take a pound of flesh from that bankrupt. Then to that response, Graciano gets angry and he went on to say that if you are sharpening your knife on the soul, then actually you are sharpening on your soul. Not on thy soul, but on thy soul. Means when you are sharpening your knife with a purpose to cut 1 pound of flesh, that particular activity means your heart is as hard as a stone. We sharpen our knife on a stone. We wet that on a stone. We rub that, then our knife becomes very, very sharp. And if Shylock is sharpening, then why is he sharpening? To take a pound of flesh. If he is doing that, then that physical act says that Shylock is very, very cruel. Why? Because he is doing that in order to cut a pound of flesh. So he is very, very cruel. And if he is so cruel, then he is not sharpening his knife on the soul of the shoe, but he is sharpening on his soul. Because his heart has become very, very hard. And it is because of this kind of person, because a kind of person he is, he can, or only such kind of person can sharpen the knife in order to take a pound of flesh from any living man. Now look at that word. Not on thy soul, that soul is the soul of the shoe, S-O-L-E, soul, but on thy soul. Second soul is S-O-U-L, soul. If you are sharpening, then you are not sharpening on the soul of the shoe, but you are sharpening it on this soul. It is because if you are sharpening in order to cut a pound of flesh, then your heart has become very hard, so you are sharpening it on this soul. Harsh dew. Thou makest thy knife keen. Keen means sharp. You are making your knife sharp on this soul, not on that soul. On the first soul means we keep a stone and press it with the feet and then we rub it, isn't it? So that soul is the first soul. Second soul is this soul. If he had a generous heart, then he would not have ever sharp his knife to cut especially a pound of flesh from a living man. But if he is doing that, then it is just because he is cruel. And cruel means this soul. He does not have this soul, or he has become very, very hard-hearted. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half thy keenness. Keenness means sharpness, of thy sharp envy. Envy means jealousy. Hatredness. Your hatredness is so strong. Your hatredness is so strong that it is stronger than even the hangman's axe. Hangman is a man who used to chop the head of the body. In the past, whenever the people were to be executed, either they were hanged or they were chopped off. They were put on a gallows, and an axe, hangman used to use the axe and separate the head from the body. Okay, so that was the hangman. He used to have a very, very sharp axe, very sharp axe. But the comparison, that sharpness is not even half of the sharpness of the jealousy or the hatredness of Shylock. So strong hatredness Shylock has for Antonio. Can no prayers pierce thee? Pierce means to penetrate. Does any prayer enter into your heart, or can any prayer enter into your heart? And Shylock says, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make. Wit means intelligent. So no, none that thou hast wit enough to make means you are not so intelligent, or you don't have that wit that can change my mind. You are not so intelligent enough that you will succeed in changing my mind. Graciano, oh thou be damned. Damned means you will go to hell for the kind of the thought you have and for the kind of the deed you are engaged in. Inexcreable dog. Inexcreable means shameless dog. See, Graciano is saying Shylock a dog. And for thy life let justice be accused. And for giving you a life, actually it is not your fault. It is the fault of the justice. Justice means God, who gave your life to you. It is not your fault, it is the fault of God. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith. When I look at you, waver means doubt. When I look at you, I start having a doubt in my faith means religion. To hold opinion with Pythagoras. To hold opinion means I start agreeing with Pythagoras. Pythagoras is a Greek philosopher who used to believe that when man dies, the body decays, but the spirit leaves the body of the dead and then enters into another body. Okay, this is the theory of Pythagoras. So when I start, Graciano says, when I look at Shylock, I start having doubt in my own religion, and I hold true, means I feel that I have a common opinion with Pythagoras. Now, what is the theory of Pythagoras? Listen, that souls of animals infuse means mix themselves into the trunk of man. Trunk means body. Souls of animal, when the animals die, the body decays and the soul comes out and enter into the body of the man. Thy currish spirit, currish means very, very evil spirit, govern a wolf means once lived in the body of a wolf, who hanged for human slaughter, wolf who had killed a human, even from the gallows did his frail soul flit. And so that wolf was caught and it was taken to the gallows for execution. Okay, but when it went to the gallows, it was killed. The wolf was killed, but its spirit could not be killed. And its spirit came out of the body of wolf and entered into the body of Shylock when Shylock was into the motherly womb. When Shylock was not yet born, but Shylock was lying in the womb of his mother. So that, once again listen, the wolf had killed a man, and so it was caught and it was taken for execution. So the wolf was killed, but spirit could not be killed. The spirit came out of the body of that wolf and entered into the body of Shylock when he was in the womb of his mother. Why Graciano says this is because Shylock's behavior is very similar to the behavior of wolf. Shylock is hungry for the wolf, for the flesh and the blood, so are the wolves. Even from the gallows did his frail soul flit. Gallows is a place of execution. Frail soul, frail means wild, flit means escaped. And whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, as you were lying in the unhallowed means unholy, dam is the womb of the mother. And as you were lying in the womb of your mother, infused itself in thee. Infused means mixed. That wolf's spirit, as you were lying in the womb of your mother, got mixed in your body, got entered into your body. Because thy desires are wolfish. Why does Graciano say this is because desire of Shylock is very similar to that of the wolf. Bloody means the thirst for the blood, starved, always hungry for the flesh, and ravenous means always have the hunger behavior like that of having a portion. We always have the hunger for the blood and the flesh. So you are ravenous, you are hungry, you are starved, and you are bloody and wolfish. So this was the line number 140. Dear children, we have completed up to line number 140. We shall continue in the next video clip. I suppose you understood this explanation given by Graciano why Shylock has been regarded as a wolf. It is just because of his behavior. So we shall wind up here for this video clip, remaining in the next video clip. Thank you.